One goal, reach the star, get positive reward. But when the baby falls, it gets a negative reward. Every joint you see can move individually, predicted by a neural network. But it initially has no idea how to move all of these joints. The baby is carefully engineered, every bone placed by hand. But the behavior completely unknown. They are learning together and sharing experience, many baby robots at the same time. So they try. And they fail. Then they adjust. And slowly something emerges. It starts ugly, it's inefficient, but it moves. Just one loop that changes actions on the basis of consequences. The reason you reached for your phone this morning runs on the same exact loop. In a few moments, you will understand why you made the decisions that shape your life. The good ones and the ones you regret. For years, I have sat in the lab watching agents iterate through millions of failures. Most people think AI is just feeding data like a textbook, but in reinforcement learning, intelligence is earned. It's a brutal, invisible grind. And it's the same exact mechanism that shaped your own brain before you were even old enough to realize it. Every natural system, and many artificial ones, runs this exact same loop. Take an action, experience the consequence, and update the behavior. Repeat. Let's see what this looks like in real life. Imagine you are 12 years old. You just came home from school. Outside, your friends are playing soccer. If you take this action, A1, to go for soccer, you just get a lot of fun. Reward +1. But there's another path. Studying for tomorrow's exam that would feel terribly wrong. Reward is hence -1. But you need to make the decision. Of course, you decide to play soccer. You're not learning. Immediate reward is huge. Your friends are there, you're laughing, running, scoring. Dopamine is everywhere. But rewards don't end when the moment ends. Every action carries future weight. The fun yesterday created the cost today, and now the brain does something remarkable. The next day, the same choice appears again. But something inside has changed. The decision feels different this time. The kid studies, not because someone forced it, but because the consequence changed something in the brain. The immediate reward is negative, studying is boring, but now the policy weighs the future more heavily. The robot runs the same exact loop. At first, every action leads to the negative reward in the following of falling. But it adjusts, tries again, the reward slowly becomes less negative. It stays upright a fraction longer each time. Understanding the long-term consequences of our action is when things get really interesting. Let's look a little further into the future. Imagine you keep choosing soccer every day after school. Those are the best teenage years you can imagine. Playing with your friends, winning games, and let's assume it is leading to a professional soccer career. Look at this upper path. Let's assume that this life has gathered 10 million in reward. Summed up rewards, we call it the return G. The other path feels very different. Studying every day feels wrong at first, boring, quiet, hard. But if you stick with it, the outcome is far more predictable. Years later, most of those students graduate. Jobs, options. So this path is only getting 1 million in return. So should you chase the soccer dream? Probably not. The expected return is low, not because the dream is bad, but because the probability is brutal. And reinforcement learning doesn't care about dreams, it cares about expectations. A bigger price doesn't automatically mean a better choice. If it pays 10 million, but only 1 in 100 million ever wins, your expected gain is 10 cents. Another box pays 1 million. 8 out of 10 people get it. Expected gain 800,000. Completely different decisions. That's the concept of expectation. If the robot only cared about the very next step, it would never learn to walk. It would simply discover the least painful way to fall. Caring about future reward is what turns a reflex into a strategy. So what does this look like for the robot? There are actions here as well, just on a much lower level. Instead of deciding between studying or playing soccer, The robot is controlling each joint individually. Every tiny movement command is predicted by a neural network that tries to maximize the future reward it expects to receive. Usually, you need to experience the consequence to learn. But humans require a shortcut because you only live once. That parent just transmitted a reward signal. This action leads to pain, trust me, and your brain believed it. Scale that up. Teachers, friends, laws, culture. All of these are systems transmitting expected consequences, so you don't have to discover everything through raw pain. This is the reward function for our creepy baby robot. Positive for moving towards the goal, negative for falling. I choose those numbers, not evolution, not physics. I decided that moving forward is the only important thing here. And this robot builds its entire existence around that. I am the society for the robot, but sometimes it finds a weird way to get to those rewards. So again, G is the sum of rewards we will get in the future at time t. It tells us whether we are in a good or in a bad situation in terms of rewards to expect. Close to having a car crash, low reward. Close to getting a baby, high reward. Having the information on the return G, it becomes easy. The optimal policy pi star, the best version of you, picks the action with the highest expected return, given the situation you are in. Argmax just means pick the best one. But that word, expected, is doing all the work here. For computer, that expectation is earned. Millions of attempts, thousands of simulated lifetimes run overnight. But you only get one life, no time for experiments. So the expectation needs to be to a large degree inherited. As we just discussed, society already runs the simulation. They are handing you the result. Society is a compression of collective experience into inherited policy. But wait, if the optimal policy just picks the argmax, the action with the highest known expected return, how does anything new ever get discovered? Imagine the kid found a strategy. He keeps going. In reinforcement learning, this is called exploitation. You found something that works and you repeat it. Zero risk, zero surprise. Most agents do this. They find the first thing that doesn't fail and they lock in. Safe, boring, stuck. Like the boy going home from school by using the same exact path every day. But here's the trap that kills 90% of the AI agents and most careers. We get so good at the routine that we stop being agents and start being the environment. We stop exploring because we are afraid to look stupid. What if the best strategy is one you have never tried? You cannot calculate the expected return of something you never experienced. This is why we need to step out of our comfort zone to experience where the magic happens. Exploration means deliberately choosing something suboptimal right now to discover if something better exists. Look at the early episodes. The robot isn't just trying to walk, it's trying everything in ways I didn't think were possible. Most converge quickly, but a few keep experimenting, and sometimes the weird one wins. Too much exploration, chaos, you never settle. Too much exploitation, you are stuck forever. The magic is in the balance. Humans operate on this exact logic. Children explore constantly. Everything gets tried. Adults exploit. We know what we are good at, but the people who keep growing, they never fully stop exploring. That's where the magic happens, right at the edge of the comfort zone. Exploration looks irrational until it wins. Reinforcement learning isn't just a technical theory, it's a law of nature. You don't become what you want, you become what gets reinforced. So look at your room, look at your family, your job, your hobbies. Look at your friends. What loop are you actually feeding? Because the algorithm of your life doesn't care about your potential, it only cares about your next action. And here's the plot twist, you are someone else's environment. Every reaction you give, every word you choose, every time you show up or don't, you are shaping someone else's reward function right now. So the question isn't just what's reinforcing you, it's what are you reinforcing in the people around you. Drop a comment on your thoughts below. And if you are not subscribed yet, this is a channel for exactly this kind of thing. See you in the next one.